Hello everyone, welcome to Campus Connect by Biopatrika. Today we'll be talking about TDU University, which is situated in Bangalore, and we have two of the faculty members from MSc Life Science Ayurveda Biology program. So let's welcome Professor Ashwini and Professor Subrahmanya.
Namaste, everybody. We are happy to be part of this interview by Biopatrick, and we will be telling you a little more about what do we mean by Ayurveda biology, why do we have MSc Life Sciences, which is specializing in Ayurveda biology. But before going to that, let me introduce myself. I am Ashwini Godbole. I am a biologist by education. By training, I did my MSc, BSc, and MSc in botany plant biotechnology, and then moved on to a more deeper research by doing PhD in NCBST IFR, that is National Center for Biological Sciences, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. So I did my PhD and there as a in cell biology and biophysics. I looked at something called as membrane proteins, membrane channel proteins, and it was a very deep dive into doing fundamental research in biology, and I enjoyed that. While during my PhD, I looked at one molecule, the channel protein, interacting with other molecules in the biological system like cells. Then I soon realized that my calling is little broader and looking at what is healthcare and how this fundamental research gets translated into something which is immediately useful for human beings, and in general the biology to something useful biology, immediate effect which we wanted to see in the society. And that's why I figured out that what is there available. And basically, I like Indian things, and I had a very personal, very good experience with Ayurveda. So automatically, I was attracted towards Ayurveda, and I started looking at Ayurveda as a biologist. And I saw that there is a lot of merit as in looking at Ayurveda as a biologist, and we can study it in more depth, and then we can bring out with Ayurvedic clinician like my friend here, and Ayurvedic experts, we can bring out something which is contemporary relevant, relevant for contemporary healthcare needs, and just not healthcare needs, for health needs to improve our health. And I could see a lot of opportunity there, and that's what brought me to TDU. I'm associate professor here. The group as for research, as our research group looks at the cognitive enhancers of Ayurveda, also the nerve tonics of Ayurveda, which can be used for mainly for degenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and basically to keep you healthy all throughout your life, as far as the nervous system. So that's my current research, and I do teach cell biology, and the animal physiology now in the course MSc Life Sciences Ayurveda Biology. I also try and take the students through a journey of starting from a molecule, like from preclinical experimental setup all the way to clinical, because our group is also involved in community-based clinical research. So all put together, I think it's the whole field together which is very attractive, and because it's so transdisciplinary, it is even more attractive and relevant. So with that, I will pass on the baton to Subrahmanya, who's my colleague.
Hello, I'm Subrahmanya, basically a Ayurveda Vaidya. Pharmacognosy and pharmacology of medicinal plants is my core area of interest and core area of study. I got my PhD for my studies on the concept of substitution in medicinal plants. Finding out substitutes for rare and endangered medicinal plants was the PhD subject, what I did during my PhD studies. Later, I started my career here in TDU as scientist and as faculty. Apart from medicinal plants, I started to study, or I started my research on the area of rejuvenative medicine in Ayurveda. That is called as Rasayana Tantra. There too, with a special focus on Panduroga or iron deficiency anemia. How to manage iron deficiency anemia without medicine? That means by providing appropriate food. This was the area of research past 5-6 years. Coming to teaching in the program MSc Ayurveda Biology or MSc Life Sciences Ayurveda Biology, I teach fundamental principles of Ayurveda, then systemic and molecular pharmacology, and the concepts of drug design in Ayurveda. Also, I contribute in terms of integrative immunology.
Thanks a lot. I think you both touched upon briefly what you teach and what's your background. So before we move on to the program specifically, can you briefly tell what TDU is and what's its core mission, which is driving this intercalation of life science and Ayurveda?
I would like to tell you a little bit about genesis of TDU because history can put things in perspective, right perspective. So the founder, Padma Shri Darshan Shankar, he always believed that there is a lot to offer in the traditional Indian traditional knowledge about healthcare in India to the current needs of healthcare. So that's where the whole thing began, and we realized that there are 6,000 medicinal plants in India, and we haven't even documented it. So early on in 1993, we began the documentation of medicinal plant. What exists? Where does it exist? What is it used for? And there are only 1,500 plants are documented in codified systems like Ayurveda, and another 500 in Siddha, Unani, Swaripa. So those are the other medicines. So we realized that that's what that treasure grove we have. We have so much of information also, not just the material, but the information related to it. And we started documenting that. That was the first activity. Then we also saw that if 6,000 medicinal plants are there and 1,500 or 2,000 are in the codified system, the remaining 4,000 knowledge of 4,000 plants is with local, the people, and it's not put into any textbook. So we started looking at the local health traditions, documenting what people's knowledge. People can come from any walk, but then they may not be in professional healthcare workers, but we can see that they have a lot of knowledge about what is used for what. So, and that we also see in our families, right? Grandmothers, mothers, grandfathers. Earlier generations had that, and they pass on to the next generation. So that's how things happen on the ground in India. And we looked at that, and we started looking at that. Then with that, we started conservation efforts, conservation of medicinal plants, because of so many things we can. I don't need to list it out here, but like deforestation, over harvesting, we are losing plants in wild. So we started working a lot in conservation, and that still becomes local health tradition documentation and conservation are still our major work areas of TDU. And we started doing in situ conservation, meaning conserving the plant where it belongs to, because there are a lot of connections with soil, the other plants, the environment, which makes the plant very special, and it should be conserved where it belongs to. So that in situ conservation is a USP of our institute. And then we became a university. When we became and before that, all the activities which we currently are always there. We have a lab where we look at the Ayurveda biology of it mainly. While we are saying Ayurveda biology, underlying that is chemistry and physics as well. So we are not just saying biology in that sense. And as I told you, I have also done my PhD in biophysics. So of course, biology is always the underlying that is chemistry and physics also. So we do Ayurveda biology-based research in various fields, and we have a 100-bed hospital connected to our university, our hospital, and we call it healthcare center, so it's not very disease centric, it's more health centric place. And we have that, and we have veterinary care, we have research in ethno veterinary care, and so those are basically mainly, and we have a lot of emphasis on food and food, because we eat food every day. I think Subrahmanya can tell you more about that, how Ayurveda, what Ayurveda. So with all that background, I think we thought that this, as in a capsule, we can offer to the new generation, upcoming generation, both from the science, the pure science, the life science, or the medicine background, or from the Ayurveda traditional medicine background. So modern medicine, biomedicine, as well as the traditional medicine. So that's why we have this unique course where the takers are from both the sides. There should not be any boundaries. Even while different students sit in the class, they learn from each other. So that's our opinion.
Ayurveda considers pathya, or the correct food suggestion is about 50% of the treatment. There is a beautiful saying: if the patient is not consuming pathya or appropriate diet, what is the use of medicine or treatment? Similarly, if the patient is consuming proper pathya, then what is the necessity of that particular treatment to manage that disease? So that gives the importance of food in the management of diseases. Right from the classical literature, Charaka Samhita speaks a lot about food, what is right food, what is inappropriate food, and it is not just food ingredient, but how a particular recipe should be cooked, and how it should be consumed, and in which season and in which place it has to be consumed, etc. Lot of information is given. Somehow the idea of food is neglected to a certain extent by the mainstream science or mainstream medical sciences. We wanted to rejuvenate Ayurveda's or the Indian traditional knowledge about food. So we initially created a database of Ayurveda food ingredients as well as Ayurvedic recipes, right from Charaka Samhita, etc., to the 16th century books on dietetics. They are called as Kshema Kutuhalam and Bhojana Kutuhalam. We have not only documented the food recipes, but tried to prepare contemporarily how to prepare those recipes. And we tried to demonstrate using a modern day kitchen facility, which we call as the scientific kitchen, and we tried to record that and made publicly available.
That's the kind of, like, the breadth of the things which we deal with a common line of mainly the health sciences. So whole of this is driven for health, and we would like to think that we are not only centered to human health, but a planet health, animal health. So it's one health kind of approach, which is very unique to this. So Rafael, just now while we were telling you the story about our university, you would have realized that we are looking at multiple facets. But the common thread in all this is uh, most of the time is Ayurveda, because Ayurveda looks at human health, Pashu Ayurveda for animal health, Vriksha Ayurveda for plants. So we have Ayurveda as an overarching theme under which even yoga comes under that, and biology. So and having said that, we are not only the Ayurveda biology thing, but we are also we are not knowledge coming from any which way. We are open.
Thanks. I think it's very informative to know about the history of TDU and how it is managing different programs, all interconnected with central theme with Ayurveda. So moving on to the program specifically. So can you elaborate what's the course structure for students, and what's the eligibility criteria for students who could enroll in this program?
Yeah, this basically MSc Life Sciences program. So it has all necessary elements required for a student to be qualified as MSc Life Sciences. Additionally, we have the essentials of Ayurvedic concepts, right from the fundamental principles of Ayurveda up to the the materia medica of Ayurveda, that is called as Dravya Guna Shastra, and something called Bhaishya Kalpana, wherein the concepts of pharmaceutics is taught, and also the concepts of food, which is ahara, pathya, etc., which we have already discussed, is also taught.
From the modern biology side or modern life sciences side, what we have in the course, the papers are mainly which will make the person equipped with all the current technologies. At least that will be not equipped with the technologies. I would say that will be they will be aware of what is happening in that field at this point. That's why we have starting from molecular biology, cell biology, then we have phytochemistry, such kind of subjects where we have physiology, plant physiology, as well as animal cell physiology. And then we have immunology. So all these modern, so to say, modern science subjects are also taught along with the Ayurveda relevant portions of portions from Ayurveda.
Apart from this, the course, the uniqueness of the course is about 8 or 9 months of internship, wherein the student will select a particular subject or topic of his or her interest and will identify an able guide and get trained under that guide and will take up this particular research topic with very serious studies. Um, this is probably the uniqueness of this particular course.
So, and the internship which Subrahmanya talked about makes them, equips them to how to merge these two disciplines in real life. Other thing which helps internship helps is for independent thinking, designing a research question, carrying out the designing an experiment. Just designing an experiment is an experience. By so they get exposed to all these things, and that is actually I think a very different experience. The student passes out from MSc Life Sciences Ayurveda Biology from TDU. I'm sure that will be a totally different experience for the student.
And the second question you asked about eligibility. Any combination of BSc is okay to come here, and the programs of BAMS, that is Ayurveda, MBBS or modern medicine, including dentistry or veterinary science, pharmacy sciences. Um,
So I think as you can see, the entry criteria is very, very broad because this is a transdisciplinary course. What we want, expect students to get when they're passing out from this course, what we want to a student to inculcate is the way how to think transdisciplinary. So that's what is very important. That's why we need to bring in more than a variety of people coming into this course. Better it will be because there will be communication between the students coming from different fields, the bachelors from different fields, be it engineering, be it medicine, be it whichever way, pure science or be it things like dentistry and so on, as Subrahmanya said. There will be there will be a lot of the students will talk to each other, they will learn, basically they will learn to appreciate the other subject. Because I feel why there is a necessity you zoom in for certain time because you want to study something in depth, but at the same time you should zoom out and see what other things which merge with this field of yours and how you can make it more well, you can utilize this in the current scenario, the current life, because life is not all is unitone, right? There is multiple things happening in life. So that's why I think this gives a lot of advantage. Even having people from multiple background is a big difference with from other courses to this course, because there is a chances that people will meet people from other students, and for the faculty also. We are also getting to meet students from different background, and that is a big advantage.
Yeah, thanks for highlighting, I think, different eligibility criteria, not restricting to only people with a background in Ayurveda. So this definitely brings uniqueness to program, and in combination with opportunity to work or like get internship at different places as well as at TDU. So